Kings and Queens, Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust to you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. So today I want us to have a little dive into Rwanda and the recent happening there. Anyway, it's not viral as it is. So Rwanda had become the third African country to accept deportees from the United States. And the reason why this is shocking, personally to me, and maybe to some persons who had seen Paul Kagame as a very different man, is because Nigeria had rejected these deportees. These same people that America wanted, kicking to Nigeria, to Africa, Nigeria rejected. And the truth is that these are prisoners, hardened criminals who had been in prison. And Trump wanted to clean America, and he felt like he had cleaned America, and he wanted to throw away the dirt into Africa. Now, I keep telling you that these nations do not see Africa or any African nation as in short, I don't see Africans as human beings, because I don't see the reason why you kick out hardened criminals, those you feel like these are not supposed to be in our society, but you feel like they should be in African society. Remember when they were asking Nigeria to accept these people, they had wanted Nigeria to give citizenship to these same hardened criminals, not just accepting them, but giving them citizenship. I brought Adamu Garba's deliberation here when we're talking about that of Nigeria. And when Nigeria refused, Donald Trump began to sanction Nigeria. We are all aware of that. A lot of sanctions here and there. And to think that Paul Kagame of Rwanda would accept Donald Trump's request. According to information, that the basis that Rwanda had accepted these deportees is undisclosed. So we don't even know what is in for Rwanda. We don't know what Paul Kagame is gaining. We don't know what Trump had promised to offer to Rwanda. Why should Rwanda, of all nations, accept hardened criminals from America? This question has been running through the mind of Africans, and I'm going to roll in some information as this video progresses. But when you listen to the news, it says that Rwanda becomes the third African nation to accept deportees from the United States. And Rwandan government said that it had agreed to accept up to 250 deportees, 250 of them from the US for resettlement, okay? But did not immediately give any more details. I told you they did their thing on the ground secretly. Okay, including when they would arrive or what Rwanda got, if at all they got anything. It's all undisclosed. So the US had already deported 8 men. It said were dangerous criminals who were in the US illegally to South Sudan and other 5 to Eswatini. So those who they said were dangerous, were not meant to live in society, they kick them to Africa. Like I told you, because they see Africa as a place where these people should be dumb. I'm going to roll in this information. Just listen to this keenly, and then if there is time, we'll take it up from there, Your Majesties.
You have to also bear in mind that the US is mounting considerable pressure on African countries to accept Venezuelans to be deported from the US, some straight out of prison. It will be difficult for a country like Nigeria to accept Venezuelan prisoners into Nigeria. We have, in the famous words of, I don't know if you know the US rap group called Public Enemy. If you do, then you'll remember a line from Flavor Flav, a member of the group, who said Flavor Flav has problems of his own. I can't do nothing for you, men. We have enough problems of our own. We cannot accept Venezuelan
I warned
deportees.
you. I told you this would happen, and it has happened. More criminals are coming into Africa. More criminals are going into Rwanda. I told you Rwanda will be the next country to accept the criminals, and now they have accepted 250 criminals. These are not just some people who went to America with fake passports or they entered the country illegally. These are actual criminals who committed serious crimes, who were given serious time behind bars, and now they are being freed, and now they are going to Africa. Their own countries don't want them, so now they are being brought to Africa. Africa, as I said, is now the world's dustbin, the world's garbage can, because it's not just America thinking of doing this. It's not just America that's going to be doing this. Europe has also been thinking of doing the exact same thing. They were just waiting for America to do it first, and here it is. America has just sent 250 more immigrants to Rwanda. Already, South Sudan had criminals, and Eswatini also received some criminals, and now more are coming, and even more are expected to come. Africa must stand up against this. We must advertise we do not want criminals here, because as long as we keep quiet, the more will be coming.
Rwanda now confirming that it is ready to take in the despicable human beings that the United States is removing from the country. That's what the Trump administration calls these undocumented migrants that have been sent to places like El Salvador and Panama.
I would say that's the spirit we are in, of giving chance to migrants who are in trouble across the world. So we are in talks with the USA. It's not finalized yet for us to say this is how it will turn out, but talks are taking place, and once they are concluded, we'll inform you. It is in its early stages.
Why would the U.S. send undocumented migrants to Rwanda thousands of kilometers away? It's a long way to go, but that is the point.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it.
It will not be the first time that Rwanda has done something like this. It's called migrant offshoring and has a lot of criticism in the human rights space. In the case of the UK deal, which we covered about 2 years ago, we went to Kigali and saw the facilities, the hostel where these migrants will be kept. Rwanda will be paid about $500,000 over 5 years and another £20,000 for every successful migrant that was sent to Rwanda.
The government of Rwanda has said it would accept 250 migrants from the United States. President Donald Trump, who assumed office in January, vowed to deport many undocumented migrants, with African nations among those considered as destinations for the deportees. Rwanda's government spokesperson Yolande Makolo told AFP news agency on Tuesday, August 5th, that the African nation will maintain the ability to approve each individual proposed for resettlement. Conditions Rwanda has set in the migrant deal include no child sex offenders will be allowed into the country, and that Kigali will only accept deported individuals with no criminal background or whose prison terms are complete. According to Makolo, Rwanda struck the agreement with Washington because nearly every Rwandan family has experienced the hardships of displacement. Reuters news agency reports that Rwanda signed the U.S. migrant deal in June 2025 and that officials have already identified 10 people to be vetted for removal. The news outlet adds that Rwanda will be compensated in the form of grant for accepting the migrants. The exact compensation amount is not yet known. According to Rwanda, migrants deported from the US will be provided with training, healthcare, and accommodation. Confirming the deal, a White House official said the move is part of President Trump's efforts to remain constantly engaged in diplomatic conversations with foreign nations willing to assist the U.S. in removing illegal aliens. In recent months, the U.S. has deported migrants, some of them convicted prisoners, to South Sudan and Eswatini. South Sudan, which received 8 migrants, recently told Washington that it was willing to accept more deportees, but the U.S. must meet certain conditions, including supporting the prosecution of first Vice President Riek Machar, who is under house arrest. The U.S. reportedly declined the conditions. Equatorial Guinea and Libya are the other African nations that Trump's administration eyes as destinations for deported migrants. When he hosted the presidents of Gabon, Liberia, Mauritania, Senegal, and Guinea-Bissau in early July, Trump urged the African leaders to accept migrant deportation deal with the U.S. The African heads of state did not immediately respond to Trump's request. Rwanda, which is home to more than 13 million people, had previously agreed to accept migrants from the United Kingdom, but the deal collapsed after the UK got a new government in July 2024.
All right, Majesties. Now, you remember in 2022 when Rwanda had already a deal with the UK to accept asylum seekers, and they received some huge amount of money from the UK government. I hope you all remember that. I think I talked about it here as well. And according to information, secretive, all they've been doing with the US just recently has been secretive. And the information says that Rwanda's deal with the US come after a continuous migrant agreement is reached with the UK in 2022 collapsed and was ruled unlawful by Britain's Supreme Court. And that the deal was meant to see people seeking asylum in the UK sent to Rwanda, where they would stay if their asylum applications were approved. And the failed deal ultimately cost the UK around 700 million pounds, at 1.4 billion US dollars in public money, including more than 200 million pounds that it gave to Rwanda and did not get back. So Paul Kagame, during that time, got a huge sum of 200 million pounds from the UK government that they didn't ask back. They didn't ask him to pay it back. The money had gone. And tell me, if a situation like this is happening, that they have something like this huge like this to hold on a nation, why would they not use that nation as a pawn in their hand to take advantage and then to get whatever it is that they want from Africa? Anyway, this is just me thinking. A lot has been happening around Rwanda, Congo. A lot has been happening between Tshisekedi and Paul Kagame. And most of us are not seeing anything wrong with Paul Kagame and Rwanda's ruling, because we feel like he is taking care of his nation. Even though he has ruled his people for many years, he is doing what is right. So nobody is asking questions. A lot of us have high hopes in Paul Kagame. But I just hope that one day would not be disappointed by him because of these secretive deals that he keep having with the US and other foreign bodies. I'm going to leave you here today. I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.